Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm gonna be doing my Eternal Sunshine album review today. So I've been trying to come up with a structure of how I wanted to make this video and figure out how I was gonna film it, and then I couldn't come up with anything, so that's why it's taken so long to make this video. And I finally just said, you know what, I'm gonna make this video and just film my review how it naturally happens, because that's what I want this whole channel to be like. I don't want it to be super rigid, if that makes sense. I just want it to really come from me. But anyways, this is the album of topic today, and look at this CD. She's so pretty. Yeah, this was a battle to get because I ordered the CD from the second batch that was released, and apparently a ton of people had problems with getting it, and mine took a month to get here after it shipped. So basically, what I'm gonna do is just kind of go through each song. At the end, I'll kind of summarize my thoughts and give my top 3 or my top 5. I haven't even decided this yet, so it'll all happen on screen for the first time. So here we go. I have my iPad here because, I gotta be able to look at stuff, and this thing, it's holding on for dear life, but it still works. So the first track is Intro, End of the World. And let's just give it up for Ariana's opening tracks, because I can't really say that they set the expectations for the rest of the album, because honestly they usually sound pretty unique to the rest of the album. The intro is the first impression, and if it just was a display of everything else that's to come, it would be there's no more surprises. So the intro itself is a surprise, kind of, just by the first note, the opening note. Not even when she started singing, when you first hit play on the song, and it feels like you're being transported. Just the fact that other people can also relate to this makes the connection with the music so much richer, and it enhances the experience so much of listening to an album. It's so much more than just hearing the music, it's feeling the music. That's why I love music. I could go on a rant. Okay. I don't know if you would call it the chorus, but the main part of the song, where the lyrics go, "If the sun refused to shine, would I still be your lover? If the moon went dark tonight and it all ended tomorrow, would I be the one on your mind? And if it all ended tomorrow, would you be the one on mine?" Being so in love that you wonder if this person is gonna think of you, if you're gonna be the first thing on this person's mind, and then if they're gonna be the first person on your mind, is it mutual? It's so cute, and I love love. I've always loved love. So yeah, just cute songs like this make me happy. I guess we'll move on to the second track, which is Bye. And oh my goodness, when I tell you I was not prepared for this song, I don't know what I was expecting, because let me just say, the first time I listened to this album, I hadn't watched Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, so I didn't really I had no idea of the plotline of the story, what any of it was about. Yeah, now I've seen it, but when I first listened to this album, I hadn't seen it yet, just to give a little context. Let's talk about Bye, because this is kind of the only other upbeat song on the album, in a way, at least closer to Yes End. I mean, this song is kind of an example of one of those upbeat songs that has sad lyrics to it, but it's also not completely sad, because she talks about healing in this song, and seeing Courtney. She's still healing herself, but it's also saying goodbye, which often saying bye is a sad thing. But I think it's such a nice contrast. The pre-chorus, when she does like the super high falsetto, the first time I heard it, I was like, oh my gosh, like it felt so weird in the song because I was like, does this fit the vibe? Like how are we building here? I was like trying to figure it out in my mind as it went, and like when I got to the bridge, I was like again trying to connect it to the rest of the song because I don't know, I guess like the pre-chorus and the bridge are both very like delicate parts, and then the verses and the chorus are very in your face, I guess, compared to the pre-chorus and the bridge. It did take me by surprise at first, but after listening to it multiple times, it really started to like make sense to me, and it's such a cool contrast. I don't know how to explain it, but like going from the bolder parts of the song, switching to a more delicate delivery, then going back to bold, then like if that makes sense the way I'm explaining it. I don't know if it does, but that's just kind of how I thought of it. And like yeah, it was a little weird at first for me, but after I listened to it like a second, third, fourth time, I was like, this song is so good. It's not like a typical pop song. Like it really has so much dimension, and it's just really good to listen to and like jam out to. And then the next song is Don't Want to Break Up Again. And whew, let me tell you, this is one of my favorite songs on this album. Wow. Even after the first listen, this is one of the songs that I was thinking about throughout the rest of the album. Like, I was just thinking, that one song was so unique. And I just kept thinking about it in the back of my mind, and I couldn't wait to go back and listen to it. Still to this day, it's one of them that really stands out on this album. And I think a lot of people might like overlook it just because she doesn't do any like crazy high notes. She doesn't like belt a lot in this song, or at all. I don't think, actually. But to me, that doesn't negate it being a good song. Like, it doesn't need to have all these high notes to be a memorable song. It's such a beautiful song, and the lyrics are heart-wrenching and relatable and like just so real. That's one of the things I love most about it, is just how real it is. The first verse is so sad. Like, I don't know if, again, I'm not going to talk about Ariana's personal life because I'm not the type of person who's going to like give my 2 cents on a relationship that has nothing to do with me. Like, and it's a sensitive topic. Like, it's her life, it's her relationship. And yes, she does like share stuff in her music, but it's still like a private thing that I don't feel comfortable like talking about directly. Like, I don't, so yeah. Anyways, this first verse, just no matter what it's referring to, it's sad lyrics, like perfect setup for the beginning of the song. And then you get to the chorus, and immediately, like just by the first line of the chorus, I was like, my jaw dropped. I was like, oh, this is the vibe that we're going for. Like she really channeled the R&B vibes with this one, and I am in love with it. It fits her so well, and her voice just sounds so clear and beautiful. Like, I love when she does songs like this. And this is, like, in my opinion, one of her best. The way she says your in that first line, when she's like, your head, and she, like, pronounces the R, like, a little bit extra. It's such a subtle thing, but little things like that are, like, some of my favorite parts of songs. Like, just little, like, it's not even quirky, it's just, like, a decision that was made, pretty much. Just something as simple as that makes a song stand out to me. And that might sound really weird, but, like, that is one of the things that made me think about this song. Like, the way she pronounced that your, like, I don't know. That's so weird, but, like, I love weird things. The second verse really hit. Oh my goodness. I was shaking my head at these lyrics. Like, oh my god. But again, so real and relatable, and one of the reasons that I love this song so much. Oh my gosh, and the part leading up to the chorus when she's like, the thing I don't wanna do. Like, just the way she pronounces do, again, the smallest thing that I just love so much. Like, it's things like that that make me think of songs during a first listen, and I'm like going through the rest of the album and I'm like, remember that part? Remember that thing that she did in that other song? Like, I don't know what it is that draws me to things like that, but I've just always been like that. Like, even thinking back to being a One Direction fan, like, I remember thinking that same exact way when I was listening to them. Like, there would be, like, this little thing that they did that was, like, unusual, and I would be obsessed with it. Like, I've just always been that way. And then the lyric in the bridge that goes, hope you'll still think fondly of our little life. So much emotion exuding out of this one song, and it's remarkable. One of my favorites. Love this one. Moving on to Saturn Returns interlude. When the tracklist first came out and I saw there was one with, like, titled interlude, I was like kind of expecting, I guess, like, her vocalizing maybe, and like a fun little beat in the background. I don't know. But turns out it's actually speaking and not singing. I will say that this interlude, I feel like I have to listen to it. Like, I cannot skip this because it feels like part of Eternal Sunshine, the song. So, like, it feels weird not listening to it. The Wake Up and Get Real, like, she was calling us out. After watching the movie, I was like, oh, this part ties into the movie so much. It really fits. It has its place. So it's very purposeful and I enjoy it. And then we get into Eternal Sunshine, the title track. And I'm gonna be honest, this song, not that I didn't like it, I did really enjoy it, but I was thinking about how Ariana said it was, like, either in her top 3 or it was her favorite track on the album. After my first listen, I thought that, like, Bye and Don't Want to Break Up Again were better than Eternal Sunshine. I guess, like, subconsciously, her saying that it was her favorite kind of gave it, like, higher expectations in my head. And, like, not that it was a letdown. It's definitely such a good song and it's grown on me a ton. But just after the first initial listen, I was, like, a little bit like, this is not what I was expecting, I guess. Yeah. I just wanted to say that because, again, giving you guys my honest thoughts after my first listen, and obviously now that I've listened to the song like every day since it came out, my opinions have changed slightly or a lot on some things. So yeah. I mean, this song, the lyrics, I was like, oh my god, just wild. Just like, whoa. Definitely one of my favorite things in this song is the beat, and when it first comes in the beginning, it just like hits you, and it's so good. It feels like so, I can't think of another word, but spatial, if that makes sense. So that immediately stood out to me. I was like, oh my god, I love this. Her vocals in this song just sound beautiful. Like the verses kind of mostly being in her lower register, and then the chorus, she's in her head voice. And like just such interesting like melody choices. I love her choices so much. She's such a detail-oriented songwriter and producer, and that's one of the things I love most about her music. I think honestly like every song, but especially this one, really showcased that. And the little like gaming noise after she says Atari, that's another little thing that like, come on. That's so like, it's just so small but genius, and I love that. So I try to wipe my mind just so I feel less insane, rather feel painless. Directly referring to the movie. I love concept albums so much. Oh my gosh. And then the bridge of this song is one of her best. I mean, the video she just shared of like her in the making of this bridge, her like going back and layering the vocals, like I could watch that for hours. I am obsessed with like seeing stuff like that, and seeing the song making process is so cool to me. And then I love that it goes back to the bridge at the end of the song, and that's what it closes with, and it ends after she says life, death, and it just like echoes. Oh, I love that ending so much. Every time I listen to that part and like get to the end, I have chills like everywhere. Next song is Supernatural. I mean, this song is my jam. The part in the second verse where she says, like the moon needs the stars, I am obsessed with space. The same thing with Eternal Sunshine, how when the beat comes in, it hits you. This song does the same. The end of the song, when she's like belting in the background and it sounds so ethereal, like, come on. Really, really, really good song. And then she went and released the slightly deluxe version of the album, and we got Supernatural featuring Troye Sivan. Like, hello? This iconic duo again in 2024? I needed a warning. Yeah. Supernatural is like an 11 out of 10 for me. Just amazing song. Oh, yeah, we're getting into like the big three, because Supernatural, into True Story, into The Boy Is Mine. I was in shock when the song first starts and it's just her singing the chorus. There's like no music in the background, it's just a cappella. She's just going, and then it's just this like edgy beat, and like I love the vibes this is giving off. Seriously, every song in this album can stand alone. Each song is so strong in its own way. This is one of those songs where if someone didn't listen to Ariana and asked me to play them one song by her, I feel like I would play this. As hard of a decision as that would be, like, this truly shows off all of her talent so much. And she does use a lot of the same techniques, but in very different ways in each song, which makes them all sound different. Ariana is truly amazing. I can't get over how good this album is. and it's been a month, and it's just even better to me than it was when I first heard it. Yeah, True Story, definitely one of my favorites from this album. And like, I love how the beat going out at the end of this song perfectly sets up for The Boy Is Mine. When I heard that this song was gonna be sampling, or like, what does she call it? I don't know if she said sampling or if it was like a reimagining of The Boy Is Mine by Brandy and Monica. But I was like, I don't know if I'm ready for this. This, like, this sound coming from Ari, I don't know if the world is ready. For sure, one of my favorite songs from this album. I will literally put this on and, like, I can't not dance. The lyric, something about him is made for somebody like me. And then in the chorus, when she says, let's get intertwined, the stars they aligned. Yes, with the space reference again. In the second verse, the part when she says there's gotta be a reason why, and like, it's just like her vocals isolated at that part. Such an awesome song. And then we go into Yes End, and I was like, oh, that was a transition. A lot of people skip like the singles when an album comes out, which I get, like, I get it. Most of the time when I listen to the album front to back, which is pretty often, I won't skip any song. Yeah, I still love the high energy, self-love vibes it has, and I think that's the reason why it's so special. And the way that the rest of Eternal Sunshine sounds, I think made the experience more satisfying because it was different. After Yes End, we go into the second single from the album, We Can't Be Friends, Wait for Your Love. And the song is so pretty, definitely very emotional, and like the runs that she does are so crisp. Like, that is the word I always think of when I hear it. And like, even when she sang it live, it was just so like crisp. So many lyrics in this song that I really love. I don't want to tiptoe, but I don't want to hide, but I don't want to feed this monstrous fire. Me and my truth, we sit in silence. I love that line so much. Because I don't want to argue, but I don't want to bite my tongue. I think I'd rather die. Just so good. The lyric, I don't like how you paint me, yet I'm still here hanging. Honestly, I was like trying to picture it being on the radio, and like it didn't feel like something you would hear on the radio. So I was like excited for like the song to get more exposure. I don't know what just happened there. And then it goes into I Wish I Hated You. This song is gorgeous and really sad. Really sad. When this song first started, I was like just listening to the music part before she started singing. I was thinking about how beautiful it would have sounded live, because it's another one of those songs that just sounds like there's so much space. Then, of course, she said she's probably not going to perform this one live, which I totally get, and that's her decision, and I respect that always. Like, the song really feels like it came from her soul. So I'm thinking about when I listened to this for the first time, and it was like getting up to the chorus, and I was like trying to figure out the tempo of the song, or like the pace of the song, and it was like one of those songs I had to like just kind of have faith in that there was like a direction we were heading, because it really felt like, I don't know how to explain it, but almost as if she was like talk singing. Not that she actually is, because obviously she's singing, but like the way that the words are phrased, and like the way that she like says each line is very much like she's just saying all this off the top of her head, or like saying it out loud for the first time. That's the kind of impression that it gave me. It's very easy to become like captivated by a song like that, where someone is like just singing lyrics and it feels like they're bearing their soul to you. That's what the song feels like. Absolutely, 100%. When she says, no matter how guilty, I still feel saying it. And I mean, the part at the end when you can hear that she was getting choked up, she really put everything into this album, and she really does just use her music to communicate everything. And she won't outright say what things are about, but you can tell, you can feel all of the emotion. The way she made this album without like spilling about her personal life and like going online and addressing people to stop attacking people in her life because of their interpretations of a song. Like, even if something is explicitly said in a song, we don't know anything that happened, and it's not right to go after someone because of something we don't know for sure. Like, it's just very, very sensitive, and I do think people need to be a lot nicer online, and we're all human beings behind these screens, and you can have your own opinion, but just before anything, just be nice. Like, it takes little to no effort to be nice instead of choosing to be mean and hurt other people. You're still hurting her by like talking about her personal life. Like, just leave it alone. Just leave it alone and enjoy the music. You can acknowledge how heartbreaking the lyrics are, but don't go beyond that. Like, there's no need to. There's no need to cause somebody extra hurt, you know? Like, I don't know why I just went off on that a little bit, but whatever. It had to be said. And getting back into the album, going into one of my other top favorite songs, Imperfect for You. This is like, along with Supernatural, one of the ones that I connect with the most. The lyrics just make me so emotional every time I listen to this. Not even like crying emotional, just like warm and fuzzy emotional. The first line being, "My boy, come take my hand." That's just so cute. And then, "I'll hold your hurt in the box here beside me." And the part where she like repeats about like crashing and burning, like, because that happens in real relationships. Like, they're not gonna be perfect. It's not gonna be like sunshine and rainbows all the time. Like, yeah, you might disagree about some things. You might, like, it's all about learning from each other. And like, times might be rough, but it's working through it together that's like worth it, and like moving past it together. Yeah, sorry. And then like the chorus is just perfect. It's almost like a song from the 50s or 60s in a way. That's kind of the vibe I was getting from this, and I absolutely love that because I love old music. This song honestly gives me Yours Truly vibes. It sounds like a very old-timey song that's like modern. The lyric, "I'll love you like you need me to," I love that one. This is one of my favorite songs. And then the last track is Ordinary Things featuring Nona. This was such a perfect closer for this album. And like Ariana said, the album starts with a question, and this song kind of has the answer at the end. And like, this song is super cute, and I wasn't expecting the lyrics. Like, it's very, in the beginning, it's like very fun, and like, no matter what we do, there's never gonna be an ordinary thing. Like, that's so cute. That is so cute. Nona talking at the end. When he'd come home and I'd see him, it was like seeing daylight. Like, that's so cute. I feel that. Never go to bed without kissing goodnight. Like, that's another cute thing. And then it ends with Ariana's little laugh. Like, perfect. There is genuinely no skips for me on this album. I love every single song. I still haven't gotten to the point where like I put this album on shuffle. Like, it's a month later and I'll still listen to it in order. Like, I don't know why. It's just, it feels so right that way. And like, I enjoy listening to it that way. I had so much fun talking about this album, and I guess I will attempt now to give my top 3, which is gonna be insanely hard. I feel like my top 5 would be Don't Want to Break Up Again, Supernatural, True Story, The Boy Is Mine, and Imperfect for You. I just don't know how to narrow down a top 3. I don't know which two to eliminate. I think Imperfect for You would definitely be in my top 3. I think my top 3 would be Supernatural, True Story, and Imperfect for You. Maybe. That was my Eternal Sunshine album review. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed hearing my thoughts and hearing me go off on rants. Please subscribe if you like my videos, and it would mean so much to me to have you here. It was fun. So until next time, peace out.